this would look so chic if this collar was popped. I mean, just look how chic that would look if it had like a raised collar, but it's a knit, so yeah. It's not gonna happen unless, I don't know, can you starch this up? I don't know, I kind of like that look. Oh well, but that's not why you're here. Hello, my name is Claudia Fabian. You may know me on Instagram as The Beauty Debut. Today, I'm gonna be covering all of my tips and tricks for covering hyperpigmentation. I know a lot of you have told me that you also suffer with hyperpigmentation and struggle to find ways to get a flawless base. Now, I've had this foundation on since early today, still looking pretty good. You cannot see any of my hyperpigmentation, thankfully, but I am gonna wash my face. I'm gonna come back. You're gonna see all of my little spots on my face, and I'm gonna show you how I cover it. Welcome back. If you're new, I'm happy to have you here. Let's go. Okay, here I am. You could see my hyperpigmentation here. I have some spots here. Yeah, I started dealing with this probably 6 years ago. No, 8 years ago. It was when I turned 50 and I had a hysterectomy and boom, melasma showed up. It's definitely hormonal. It can be. And a lot of women are more prone to getting it, and if you have a darker skin, you're prone to getting hyperpigmentation anyway. Let me know if you want me to do a video strictly on skincare and treatments. I have been an esthetician for over 30 years and I have studied it all, and I really like taking a holistic approach to taking care of my skin, so I don't do anything aggressive with lasers or microneedling. I never will, but I have managed to suppress the pigment. It is a lot lighter than it used to be, and I just call it managing. I'm managing my melasma and hyperpigmentation fairly well, and it is very easy for me to cover it when I want to. So let me know in the comments below if you would like a separate video. We can strictly focus on skincare, on treatments, on things that you can do to help improve your hyperpigmentation and melasma. Let me know. But let's get into how we can just cover it. So if I want to do a flawless base, there are a few things I will do prior to applying my foundation, and that is using color correctors. There are several different types of color correctors. I'm going to show you a couple of drugstore options and then a more high-end option. If you are my skin tone or perhaps slightly lighter, these are going to work beautifully. I'm going to give you little tips. If you're darker than me, I'll show you like a different example of what you can do. But what we want to do before we do our foundation is just tackle some of this spots so that our foundation can lay right on top and give us the coverage that we need. To really help this not show up under foundation, you're going to want to use something peach. This one is from NYX. It is the Pro Fix Stick. I'm going to show you here on my hand. This is a peach. That works really well. If you're slightly darker than me, or if your brown spots tend to look more bluish, like purpley blue, deeper than what I'm dealing with, you're gonna wanna go with something a little bit more orangey. Now this one is from e.l.f. Do you see the difference? That's what you'd want to color correct with. So those are my two drugstore picks that I do use. And then I have this one by Natasha Denona. And this one is kind of a nice mix of the two. It is not as peach as this, definitely not as orange as that. I've used all of these and I've tried everything out there that you can imagine to cover hyperpigmentation. These are the things that have worked best for me. Now, another option, if you are oily, maybe if you have larger pores and you just don't want to pack on a lot of layers because it maybe can enhance texture, let me suggest using a peach eyeshadow. I have a couple of these from MAC. This one is called My Tweety, and then this one is called Rule. This one is going to be more similar to this one from e.l.f. My Tweety is going to be more similar to the one by NYX, the peachy shade. Let me swatch these for you. This one is My Tweety. This one is Rule. Using these work amazing because sometimes what will happen is if you do a cream color corrector and then you put your foundation on top, sometimes that cream color corrector moves and it kind of defeats the purpose. That happens sometimes. These you can do and it won't do that. So I think what I'll do is on this side, which is my worst side, I am going to use a powder just to show you. On this side, which isn't as bad, I'm going to use my Natasha Denona. That's how we're going to do it. First, I'm going to use my Victoria Beckham. This is the Cell Rejuvenating Illuminator. I really love this under my foundation. This is golden. A primer, it just gives a little bit of highlight, shimmer to the skin, a little bit of a glow. You do not have to do this step. It's just something that I enjoy doing. I like to use some kind of primer. I'm gonna do a little eye cream as well. I just washed my face and of course I left my eye makeup on for you so you can enjoy it a little longer. And I'm just gonna put a little eye cream. So by the time that I do my concealer, it will nourish the under eye. Let me know too if you wanna see my facial massage. I love teaching that. I do my facial massage every morning just to smooth and plump and move lymphatic. Let me know if you want to see that. So we said on this side I was going to use my Natasha Denona. So I'm going to take this, just going to use a little bit. That is another thing I see people doing wrong is that they use too much color corrector. It's not supposed to be all over the face. It's just supposed to be in the areas that you need. I'm just going to tap this in. I'm going to concentrate it right here on my cheek because that is where I have that stubborn pigment. This is really the perfect shade for me. This is shade C3 in the Natasha Denona color corrector. I could just really wear that and maybe some bronzer and have a no makeup look. That is the beauty of color corrector. Now I also get dark marks here and you may also get those too from eyeglasses, my readers. I've been wearing glasses since I was 7 years old and I wear readers now. The struggle is real. I'm just gonna tap that in. I use very little. If you have dark under eye circles, you could put this corrector under your eye. On this side, I'm going to use the powder and I'm just going to use a brush to apply it, a dense little brush, and I'm just going to tap in right here. It almost will look like a blush because that's exactly where I have my pigment. It almost is right in the spot that I would put blush. So you can see this one is a lot peachier than this, but they both work beautifully. You could also do your cream and then do a little powder on top. That works beautifully as well. I've just camouflaged the pigment. This almost just looks like a peachy bronzy blush. Let me just do a little bit of this powder right here where I get the dark mark. I'm loving the shadow hack. It works, and I'm sure you have a peach eyeshadow somewhere in your collection. If not, this one by MAC is great. All right, let's do our foundation. My favorite foundation for covering melasma, well, I have two. One is Estee Lauder. If I really want a flawless coverage, I grab this one. This is their new one, and this has now added skincare benefits. They've added niacinamide, and niacinamide is an ingredient that really targets hyperpigmentation. I don't even need to use color corrector. My pigmentation isn't as bad as it used to be, so I can really just get away with applying this without color corrector, and it covers everything. I highly recommend this if you have normal to dry skin. This new formula is perfect. I don't really think you're gonna love this if you're very oily. If you're very oily, look for a really good matte. And my suggestion is the Airbrush Flawless by Charlotte Tilbury. I use 7.5. This one covers beautifully. It has been my tried and true for a flawless look. But this one is new to me because they just launched this. And I wear 3 and 2 in this one. And this is what I'm gonna use today. It's what I had on earlier. I'm just gonna do 3 dots. That's all you're gonna need. I'm gonna take my Stands Out sponge. I love this sponge because you don't need water. It's just nice and fluffy and big and soft, and I love it for tapping in. So now the next tip that I have is you don't want to rub. You want to stipple. You want to pounce and tap your foundation in the area that you want to cover. You can blend in the other areas of your face, but on your pigment, the last thing you want to do is go down or rub. You can also use a dense brush, and again, you're going to want to tap and press in and pounce, not rubbing. because then you're going to defeat the whole purpose. Here we go. I'm just going to start tapping this in right over that area that I applied the peach eyeshadow. And now here I can go down. Just tap that in, press it. Do you see that great coverage? So I'm just going to do one light layer. This formula is very buildable. You're going to be able to decide how much coverage you need. I do the 3 dots, tap that in, blend it, and I'm going to let that dry. Let's do the other side. So I'm just gonna do 3 dots and tap. Just get a little on my forehead. And we're gonna still do concealer. So I don't bring the foundation under my eye. I try to keep it right on that orbital bone because I'm gonna do concealer here. Let me let this dry and then let's see if we need to add an extra layer. You can see here, it gave good coverage, but you see that sometimes color correctors, they move and I can see some of that peeking through. It looks like a little grayish. On this side, it's much better coverage because the eyeshadow didn't move when I tapped in the foundation. So a little note to self, just to show you some good examples. This is still great coverage. We're still gonna move forward. So what we're gonna do is on this side, I'm just gonna take the smallest amount and tap right on the area that I wanna conceal. And this side looks pretty good, but just for fun, I'm gonna just do a little right there. When I picked this foundation shade, another thing that I do that might help you as well is we have 2 different colors on our face, right? We have this darker pigment and then our skin tone. Lots of times I'll end up buying 2 foundations. I'm not gonna ask you to do that, but maybe choose a foundation that's right in between. Because if you are not gonna color correct and you're just gonna go in with foundation, sometimes what'll happen is that melasma or pigment can have a slightly gray cast. That's why we color correct, to help that not show through. If you're picking a foundation that is exactly, which we should, exactly your neck and on your jawline, when it goes over this pigment, if you're not color correcting, it can look a little gray. So if you want to be as low maintenance as possible, just pick a foundation that's right in between those 2 colors and that'll help it to meld. So this is 3 and 2 and it's right in between my skin shade and my pigment shade because my true match in Estee Lauder is 3 and 1. So I went 1 shade darker and that really just helps to give me a flawless coverage. Let me move on to concealer, and I'm going to use the Estee Lauder today. This is the Double Wear Concealer. I'm wearing 3N, which is neutral. I'm just going to tap a little here. This is very covering, so I'm not going to use a whole lot. I'm going to bring this down just slightly. I personally don't like to do concealer right under the lash line. It really can close off the eye and make the eye look a little flat. So I stay away from that area, but I do like it on this outer corner, and I use it just to kind of lift my shadow. Now we have a pretty flawless coverage. Let's finish up the look. Let me know too if you want to see a no makeup look for melasma. I have some hacks with that as well because I know the trend right now are these balmy, dewy foundations. They don't always work with melasma though, but I found some little hacks and I do sometimes do a very natural makeup look. This is definitely more of full coverage because that's what we're showing today, is how to fully conceal your melasma. But I'm happy to show you a lighter makeup look if that's what you're interested in. If you do suffer with melasma, but you like a very no makeup look, let me know and I'll make another video on that topic specifically. I'm going to use this Milani cream bronzer. This one is called Spilling Tea. I'm going to take a little bit of this, just tap that. Again, when you're applying any other layers on top of everything that you've corrected, the last thing you want to do is do that because you're going to blend everything away. So we do very light layers of whatever we're doing, but we're going to pounce and tap that in. And I like doing a little bit of this right over my melasma because it definitely just helps, again, to camouflage. I just took a little bit of this Patrata. I thought I was recording and I wasn't. I'm sorry. This is She's Blushing. I like to use we're still working with creams, and I was saying that I think using a coral works really well if you have melasma or pigment on your cheek area like I do, because it just adds another layer of that peach to help camouflage your pigment. So next, let's just do a little loose powder and then we'll do some finishing touches. I love this Makeup by Mario. This is Fair Pink. This is one of my favorite setting powders. Just gonna take a light amount of it on a little brush, and I'm just gonna go right in under my eyes, very lightly dusting. This foundation is fairly matte, so I don't need a lot of powder, but I'm just gonna go over the areas that I personally know I get a little oily, which is in my T-zone. You definitely do not have to use powder. That looks good. Now I'm gonna go back into the She's Blushing palette, and I'm going to do a little blush with the powder. Just gonna do it right over here. This is such a pretty color. I'm gonna take my Patrick Ta. This is the She's Sculpted palette. I'm going to take an angled brush, tap into the cream. I like to just do a little sculpting right in through here. Again, you don't have to do this. And then it comes with a bronzer too, which is such a pretty bronzer. Let me set everything with my favorite One Size powder melt. Stuff is amazing. And I'll go in and just double check everything. I think we did pretty good. Let me do some liner. These are by Mary Phillips. I think this one is French Tint. I don't know. You just want like a nude. I like to overline my lips. I know that bugs people, but you do you, I do me. I want you guys to see it. It's not just me. You cannot, there's hardly any writing. Look at that. This is definitely not made for over 50 because we cannot see without readers and a bright light. I'm gonna use this Laura Geller palette. This one is the best of the best Cream Full Face Basics. I've just started playing around with it and I really like it. These are lip colors down here and I really love this soft pink. And I love that it's, you know, not drying on the lips. I love lipstick. I don't do gloss. I can't stand gloss, but I love a good hydrating lipstick. And this definitely is that. There's some other fun things. There's a nice cream highlight, cream eyeshadows up here that are very pretty. This peach lip is very pretty too. Isn't that just lovely? And we can even tap a little bit of this. It's very pigmented, so just be careful. If you go in with these, they're really pigmented. I'm just gonna tap a little. I love a little pink right here, all across my nose and up and through here. I like the dewy cheek. I like everything else to be matte. We covered all that pigment. It looks flawless. I hate using the word flawless, I'm sorry. That's a word that I'm trying not to use anymore because it's just an unattainable beauty standard and I'm really trying to walk the walk and talk the talk. And we're not gonna use that word flawless. We'll say impressive. How's that? We're not looking for perfection. There is no such thing. I'm gonna add a little bit more powder because I'm kind of looking through. Now, of course, I would clean up my eyeliner and fix that a little bit, but I am gonna wash this off as soon as I'm done recording. So do I need to do that? Yes, I do because I'm filming and it's gonna drive me nuts. Look at this. It's a mess, but I use this palette almost every day. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I'm just gonna clean up this line and make this just a little darker because it got blended away with my concealer. Oops, got a little black there. Oh, I hate when that happens. I probably have it all over my hands, that's why. Just tap that away. We saved it. All right, did I mess up my eyebrows? Probably a little bit. What do you guys think? That was so easy, right? Let me know what side you liked and if you've ever tried using an eyeshadow as a color corrector. You want to get something in the peach family, either a very light peach if you're fair skinned or a deeper leaning towards orange if you're darker. All right, we did it. We covered the melasma. We have a flawless base. Give this one a try. The Charlotte Tilbury is amazing. And even honestly, my Makeup by Mario, you can see I'm halfway through this bottle. This is another excellent choice for covering. Once you color correct properly, really you could apply any foundation, but I try to use something that's a semi-matte. I don't go with real glowy foundations when I want a full coverage and I want it to last all day, because the dewier it is, the more oils, the more silicones it has, and it's gonna separate. By the end of the day, your pigment's gonna show through. We have to make concessions. I like to cover my melasma when I wanna feel my most beautiful. It's something that I just enjoy, and those are my picks. So let me know if you have any questions. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you learned a new hack and that you can practice this and get a flawless coverage. I'll see you next time, and if you wouldn't mind making sure you like, leave a comment, maybe share this with somebody who also struggles with melasma. And if you haven't yet, I would love for you to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.